Good morning. We're covering the aftermath of Iran's admission that it shot down a passenger jet last week. We're also looking ahead to the announcement of the Academy Award nominations this morning. Iran cracks down amid anger over downed jet. Security forces fired on protesters in Tehran on Sunday, the second day of demonstrations after Iran's military, citing human error, acknowledged firing the missiles that brought down a passenger jet last week. Iran's admission after days of denials has limited the international blowback, but created a domestic political crisis that has overshadowed the confrontation with the US, at least for now. Among the 176 victims were 57 Canadians, several of whom were students or faculty members at the University of Alberta. Defense Secretary Mark Esper said on Sunday that he had not seen specific evidence that Iran was planning to attack 4 U.S. embassies, contradicting President Trump. It was the latest shift in the administration's evolving explanation for the strike that killed a top Iranian general. Major General Qasem Soleimani's name may not have been well known to most Americans, but he had long been a focus of anger for wounded veterans and families of those killed in Iraq. Joe Biden's vote for war. In 2002, Mr. Biden was one of 77 senators to authorize President George W. Bush's use of military force in Iraq, a vote that has exposed Mr. Biden to criticism from rivals for the Democratic presidential nomination. Times review of that vote, which Mr. Biden later called a mistake, found that it was characteristic of his record as a dealmaker, one with a deep respect for compromise that his supporters admire, and that critics say has colored his judgment. Part of Mr. Trump's campaign message in 2016 was a vow to end what he called America's reckless interventionist globalism. But with the specter of a conflict with Iran, he risks becoming the wartime president he has said he never wanted to be. Elizabeth Warren said on Sunday that she was disappointed over a suggestion by Bernie Sanders' campaign that her appeal was limited to highly educated voters. The two candidates are among 6 who have qualified for the Democratic debate on Tuesday. A new venue for #MeToo cases. The rape trial of Harvey Weinstein that began last week in Manhattan is one of few such cases in U.S. courts involving accusations recent enough to result in criminal charges. As a result, those who are unable to pursue such cases are embracing defamation lawsuits. This year, verdicts are expected in defamation cases involving President Trump, the Senate candidate Roy Moore, and the actor Johnny Depp. The suits are being brought because the statutes of limitations on sexual misconduct can be as short as 1 year. Defamation cases are also a go-to strategy for accused men trying to preserve their reputations.